Yo. I don't even. Masterful. It's just when I think of this man is what I think of. To become masterful at something is you got to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And you got to find you got to be able to do it in different scenarios. You have to be able to do it under different circumstances, under different moods. You have to be able to do it no matter what your surroundings and your environment is, and you always show up. That's what it means to me when you're masterful at your craft. And I knew this man was masterful when he put out Can I Borrow a Dollar? I always go back. I know people say, man, every time he come up here, Sway, you like to go back. Because it reminds me of myself when I talk about his past, because we've had parallel existences.
Yes.
And to see him sustain and grow and evolve constantly and really look the damn same way he looked when he put out Can I Borrow a Dollar? Masterful. Because he looks so good, it make me look good when I stand next to him.
You look great, brother.
You
look great. He look great.
That's great.
Come on,
you look great.
Glad you did that.
Thank you.
Sway
Come on,
looking
man.
great, man.
Thank you, man.
You got
You
that.
don't have to say it.
That glow right now.
You feel it?
Coming back from Africa glow.
That Ghanaian glow I got.
Yes, sir.
We talked about that comment tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Oscar, the Emmy, the Grammy Award winning, soon to be Tony. Give it up for the one and only Common.
Going for the EGOT.
Are you going for the EGOT?
Man, for me, I just, try to put my spirit and heart into what I'm doing. Like, and whatever comes after that is good. But, everything, whether it was a Grammy, the Emmy, we never knew we was even eligible to get an Emmy when we got an Emmy. I just was writing a song for Ava DuVernay's letter to, for movie 13. My point is like, I can't do work and be thinking about an award. Like, I gotta be thinking about the work and putting my heart and soul into the work. And if that work denotes an award, of course I love being awarded for the work that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get an award and felt like you failed at your speech?
Yeah, definitely early on, and that's what made me start thinking about, okay, let me be prepared for a speech, or if I got, especially during the time when we was doing with Glory and John Legend and I, we were getting a lot of opportunities to go up there and speak. I was like, man, I'm about to say something now, and I felt like I was representing like the people of the civil rights movement. I was representing black people. I was representing hip hop. So I'm representing Chicago. I'm like, I need to go say something. So, but I've definitely failed at the speech. In fact, one of my early speeches I was doing with Dr. Maya Angelou.
Oh.
And I tried to go up there and freestyle. That's, like freestyle speak. And then Dr. Angelou came and lit it up. It was at Riverside Church up in Harlem. And my mother, when I came off the stage, my friends and some of my team was like, good job. And my mother was like, that wasn't good, bro. And she didn't say bro, but she was like, that wasn't good. Yeah, she was like, that wasn't good.
Yo, son.
Yeah, son, that wasn't good. I was like, what? And then she was like, you could do better. You need to work at it. So, for me, I like being able to stay present and be like able to be in the moment. But I also believe in preparation when it comes to like you getting the opportunity to do something. Be prepared and then allow yourself to be in the moment. That's how I approach it.
I love that because I'm thinking of Maya Angelou and you saying that happened in front of her. And when I was speaking about masterfulness, it's because I've watched your training, your self-evolution over the years, from the way you rap, MC, write, think, eat, present yourself, even fashion. I've seen the whole evolution. And I always hope that, forgive me, Common, for paralleling myself with you again.
No, it's legitimate. It's the truth, bro. It's the truth. We parallel no matter. Like, we can, like, one thing I say is, like, every time when we connect, it's like I feel the progress and I feel the roots of where we come from. Like, we can talk about the past, but we still be having new stuff that's going on that you'll be like, yo, you need to check this out. Be aware of this. Or you'll come see me in a play. It's something new. It's different. Like, we progressing.
Yeah.
But we know where we come from.
We know where our roots come from.
Our roots are.
And so I remember sitting in interviewing President Obama at the White House, right? And I remember I didn't sleep for 3 days prior, right? Because I just had to know everything for a 20-minute interview.
Yes.
But I had to know everything, and I was hoping that I would rise to the occasion that he brought.
Yes.
You know, the magnitude of who he is, and especially at that time in that position he was in. And it made me go back to my track and field days, like being nervous before the gun went off, or first time I ever performed in front of people in high school at Oakland High at a pep rally or something. Yeah. And I was always able to rise to the occasion. But something about being in his presence took me to a whole nother level of journalism.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That was a classic interview, too.
Oh, thank you, brother. Classic. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was the first time anybody from hip-hop interviewed an active president at the White House.
That was classic.
Live on TV.
That was amazing.
Yes. Who are some of those people like Maya Angelou that you've been around that you knew, damn, I got to really rise to the occasion, but their presence inspired you to do it?
Well, President Obama and Michelle Obama make me rise no matter what. Like being able to perform at the White House, I'm always like, man, I got to give it my all. Harry Belafonte, being around him has made me just rise just in a way that's like, oh, man. And once again, Dr. Maya Angelou, Denzel Washington, just being on a film set with him. Like, I was like, man, I got to step up. And let me say, Ruby Dee was on there, too. So it was like, I was like, man, this is the highest level.
Gangster,
American Gangster. That's that movie. And I only had a few lines in that movie, but I was just like, I'm here with Denzel. I got to rise to the occasion. And I saw really a lot of my thing was observation. When I get around people of that nature, the masters, I'm like, man, let me just observe. I'm doing that right now with Stephen McKinley Henderson, who's the lead of our play.
Between Riverside and Crazy is on Broadway now. The Atlantic Theater Company is their production. I went to see it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's Between Riverside and Crazy. It's on Broadway. It's Second Stage Theater at the Hayes Theater, and it's an incredible play. Like we talked about me writing, Sway. I love just great writing, whether it was James Baldwin and Dr. Maya Angelou or KRS or Nas, and I like writing, And this writer, Stephen Adley Girgis, wrote a play that's just, man, I'm like, I wish I could have wrote something like that. Like, it's just special. It got a lot of just life into it, electricity about New York people and just their lives, and it just, you relate to it because nobody's all good, nobody's all bad, and it's just a story where I'm like, man, I'm super geeked to be a part of a play that people that don't even watch plays like, oh man, I relate to this. I like this. Like Alex, my publicist over there. She really,
shout out the publicist. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So that's my people though. But sometimes people not always into theater have come to the play and said, man, I really related to these people I see on stage. I think we bring in a raw electricity, and he just writes at that level. And man, when you get to be a part of something that you feel is like hitting the high levels of work, then I'm just grateful to be in it, like, and just absorbing, as we talked about. And man, there's so much to like live theater that I didn't know because I always watched it.
Yeah,
I always go see plays. I love seeing theater, so I always watched it and thought, man, can I do this? I remember just recently seeing a play from this sister, this playwright from Detroit. And I was there, and I
Dominique
was like,
Marusa.
Dominique.
That's my dear friend.
She is dope.
She's going to be the most amazing. She's going to go down in history as the best American playwright when all is said and done with her work.
Well, I got to argue with that, but she is really one of the greats. But
no, I said when this all goes down. But
I think Stephen Adley Girgis is right up there with her.
Obviously,
and Lynn Nottage is super dope too. But
she is.
But we should be able to. It's like MCs.
It
like
could be three goats.
I'll edit. I'll say one of. Right.
Okay.
I've known her since freshman year in college.
Okay.
And so seeing her incredible rise.
But I want to salute her because she is
amazing.
One of the greats. So for sure. But that being said, it's like that type of writing where it's like it's got a truth to it. And I was watching her play, and I was like, man, am I gonna be able to do this? Can I do this? And I had that question in my mind for a second, but I just told myself, you said faith. We talked about faith, man, and That's basically what I was walking out on the water, like in faith, and just knowing that I've prepared myself enough through life and going through the hip hop experience. Me and Sway was just talking about something. The hip hop experience is a gift for us all. The things that we've experienced going through hip hop and this culture has been a gift, because I can go anywhere and feel like I can make it. You know, and I will have to learn what it is, but this particular thing, acting, is something I've been passionate about for a long time. So I knew, like, I could get there. But you had those questions, and I looked at that play, and I was like, can I do it? Can I do it? And I can do it. I started telling myself I could do it, and I just came to our first rehearsal prepared and just being open, because I'm around some all-stars. Like these people I'm acting with on this stage are like, it's like working with some of the greatest hip hop artists, greatest actors of all time. And, everybody's not all as well known as, you might know Leonardo or these, some of the popular, but these people on that stage are like, I'm working with the best.
Yeah, you're working in excellence.
In excellence.
I got a chance to see it. We'll talk about the play Between Riverside and Crazy. If you're coming to New York, it's a must-see. If you're in New York, it's a must-see. If you're not really familiar with Broadway but kind of curious and want to know how to break in, this is a great entry level. DB, when I came in this morning, said, hey, man, when Common get here, can I ask the first question? Because y'all going to start being buddy-buddy, you, Heather, and Common.
He said you hog up the whole conversation.
No. Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah. And he was like, you get the first question.
Yep,
and what is it, 20 minutes later? Sitting here collecting dust in the corner.
We can't help it, man. We can't help it.
But I've never got the opportunity to tell you this. You're one of my favorite actors, artists that have become an actor. I was watching Street Kings the other day, and I love Keanu, but that scene with you, Keanu, Chris Evans, before he was even Captain America yet, like that scene was just like, it took me back to when I saw you in Smoking Aces, Terminator Salvation. I mean, like, I've seen you in so many films, and it's like, the thing for me is, I don't see you, I'm not waiting for you to start rapping in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, you always step into a character, like, fully. But when you did Parabellum, bro. John Wick. Those fight scenes where you playing Cash In, the train, and then the one where you guys, you were in Italy, right? Like after that was some like, that ain't some shit that you just step into. Like, you have to be prepared for that kind of fight choreography and everything like that. So the other request I have.
I appreciate that, though, DB, just so you know.
I brought this. This is actually for you, but I have a request.
What are these things, DB? Because people listening don't know what you just held up.
Excuse me. So I'm holding up a blood oath marker from, if you've seen John Wick, you know what this is. It's basically like a promise. So if I need a favor from Common, in the movie, you prick your thumb, you put your thumbprint, he has to put his.
Demonstrate it for the camera.
Okay, so like, you see there's like a little like emblem or something here, but you would prick your, this doesn't have the little pricker thing, but you would prick your thumb, put your imprint, and it's like, you can't break that.
Yeah.
So I give this to Common, and then he needs a favor. I have to do whatever it is he needs because he did it for me.
Oh, so you about to give him that?
I'm about to give him, this is a souvenir, and so I just have one small favor. I just need a drop, but I'm not going to say it until afterwards because I have an idea that I'm working on.
You did all of that to get a drop?
No, I got you, bro. I got you.
Well, what the hell am I asking for? Like, I mean, yo.
I got you, bro. I'm with you, DB. I'm with you.
No. I have a question. I was
okay, there you go.
I'm with you, though, DB.
Thank you. Don't worry about him. He probably ain't even seen the movie.
I saw it, but go ahead.
When we were talking about Gloss when she was here freestyling, and we were saying how, like, if Common is impressed, then that means you did a good job. What actors came to you and were like, bro, you are doing a great thing, that you were like, I can't believe this dude just said that to me?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Tim Robbins is an actor that I work with now on this show called Wool. It hasn't come out yet. It's on Apple TV. It'll be coming out the first season in May. And we were filming in London, and it's called Wool. And he came up to me. Most of every episode we shot, like, he was giving me love, but not, he wasn't like, yo, he never came up. But it was this one scene I did, and he came up, he said, yo, that was really great, man. That was really great work right there. And I was just like, damn, this Tim Robbins, man. Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank, all you guys say is Shawshank, man. Come on. That right there made me be like, okay, this is good. And then Samuel Jackson said something to me, because, he had at one point he had like a thing with artist that was transitioning into
I got
acting.
to think of rappers.
Yeah, rappers.
Yo, this wasn't an artist.
Okay,
He made
rappers.
it clear.
Yo, Samuel, that's our guy. He listens too, by the way. So
I love
he's a
Sam,
citizen.
but-
Yeah.
yeah. He's in fact he's on Broadway right now too, but doing the piano lesson. But yeah, he said, man, you did your thing in John Wick 2. He gave me love for John Wick 2, and I was like, damn, Sam don't like. He was like, you know how I feel about it. And I was like, man, I'm an actor too. I mean, listen, for me, I started as an MC. That's just what it is. I'm an MC forever. But I've been going through the trenches studying acting and working on acting. So I have to claim that I am an actor. I'm an actor too. So I don't try to like separate myself from that and be like, yo, just because I'm a hip hop artist doesn't mean I'm an actor. I want, like, when it's all said and done, I want to be down with some of the greatest actors too. I want us to be able to say, man, Rashid Common was one of the great actors that we seen. So that's just my goal, my vision for myself. I wouldn't get into this art form if I didn't feel like I wanted to be one of the greats, you know. And I don't do stuff unless I feel like I could be an excellence at it. It takes work, and I'm gonna keep working. I'll work to the day I leave the planet, but I want to be at that level.
Is Cashin coming back?
I hope so. He's not in. That's my character from John Wick 2. He's not in 3 or 4. But I told them they need to put me in 5, because you know, people. That's one of the movies that people come up to me most and say, "Man, I love John Wick." It has like that cult following.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in London riding in an Uber, and the dude was like, "I know your face. I know you. Where I know you from?" And I was like, "I don't know. Well, you know, you might." He was like, then he thought about it after a long time. It was like John Wick 2, John Wick 2. So I realized that that's one of those movies that has gotten me out there in different ways. But as I said before, Sway, I try to just do it for the love, and then what comes about from it is the blessing.
Comments here. The play is Between Riverside and Crazy. Mike Muse, you want to get in there?
Yeah, I do. I'm just listening to you right now. We always talk about this idea of compartmentalizing art, right? And like a rapper can only rap, an actor can only act, a basketball player can only play basketball, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this conversation right now, like Kendrick Lamar. I feel him so transcendent, right? Like
Yes.
he definitely is an MC, but he won a Pulitzer. He's a fantastic writer. And I'm thinking about his performance that he did live in Paris. And I've always thought his performances were so theatrical, right?
Yes.
Looking at the work that you do and the body of work that you have had, do you think there will become a time, or are we getting closer to that time where it'll be more acceptable for artists to, I didn't want to use the word multi-hyphenate because it still compartmentalizes it, where sometimes we'll just get to a point where artists are just artists, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think those artists that really approach it from that place will be known as artists. Like, yeah, but I do think, you know, I will say, I don't think just because you rap means that you're going to be able to act. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say, Matt said to me, man, you rhyme, so I know acting is easy. I'm like, no, it's a whole different art form, you know? But eventually, if you study it like any other human being, if you've got a passion for it, and maybe a talent for it too, you want a talent for it, then you can become that. And I think the thought of being an artist is a great thing, because it doesn't put any limitation on things. And to be honest, what got me into acting was me feeling boxed in at one point. I did Electric Circus, an album that the hip hop community was like, "Come on, man, what you doing, bro? You losing it." And
I liked it.
I told you
Look,
we're going to stop.
Look. Sway, look, you can tell he was like, I liked it. You know, when people say like, you know, yeah.
No, I didn't like the pants you were wearing around that time. That was the wardrobe thing. It wasn't the music thing.
Okay.
It was
The
different.
presentation probably got you, threw you off.
I'm sorry, friend.
No, but that's good, bro. Hey, only friends tell their friends what the reality
real
is.
is.
You supposed I'll catch you if you like, yo, if you doing something, Sway.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I would love for you to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Heather does it every day, but
Wait.
I don't know where it comes
It
from.
was something we did.
Oh, shit. You about to do it?
It was somewhere you was on the beach or something. I can't remember anyway. So like me doing that Electric Circus album was the catalyst for me actually saying, man, I got to do something else, because I felt like, I was like, man, as an artist, I want to keep growing. And I didn't know what that artistic expression would be. And musically, I was like, man, okay, hip hop is saying don't do that. Like, so I was like, okay, what can I do? And I just tried different things, and acting was like the one that hit my soul. Yeah.
Did you come with B after that? What album?
Yeah. B was.
That's what I find really interesting. You went from Electric Circus and then came to B.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
but see, I always look at like career and like life journey is like, okay, you kind of can start like B was me going back to the roots of what I am, but it was like a new cipher, a new circle. Like if you're building a tower, the first tower started with Can I Borrow a Dollar? I mean, the first level, and then went through those albums. Electric Circus was the farthest away from the root that I had ever been. But then I came back to the root, but it's just a new level. B was a new level of what I was rooted in. But I think to grow and to actually have a career, I don't think it's good to just keep doing the same. You like, I mean, especially when, like, if you're inspired and you are at a certain place as an artist, you got to be true to where you are as an artist. Like that, it to be like, oh, okay, I remember presenting Electric Circus to the label, and they was like, man, bro, like the president was like, of the label, he was like, bro, it's like if I went to a restaurant and I got Mexican food there, and then the next time I go back, they serving me Japanese food. He was like, that it don't work, because he felt the music was so different from what I did before. And I was like, man, listen, I'm cooking up what I'm cooking up. This is where I am right now. That's what artists have to do. I remember Spike Lee talking about, I heard him saying a speech early on, artists should not be judged by one like installment or one piece of their work, but by the body of work.
Yeah.
So I felt like I want to give a body of work. Sometimes that journey might be way far off from what you feel is I'm about, but that's my exploration too, and I deserve that as a person and as an artist.
Does one inform the other? I'm just thinking about right now. You're talking about you went from Electric Circus and then to B. I'm just curious. Does the music then inform the type of roles you take, and does the roles you take, such as like John, which is in the character in Between Riverside and Crazy, will that inform the next style of music that you will approach?
Yeah, I mean, because for me, anytime I'm like taking on a character, I'm learning something about me, about humanity, about people. So I always bring that to my music. Like I'm right from a human place, and I act from the most human place too. So it's like if I pick up some information or something about me, I love, I've talked about things in my songs that are really personal. I've talked about real personal things and I think being an actor has allowed me to go to some of those personal places and not be afraid to expose it, and then come back to hip hop and be like, well, this is who I am. This is what it is. I mean, to be honest, I think early on I was talking about personal things, but I can say acting has informed me to even go deeper in those places, because you got to be like, it's a vulnerability. Being on stage in live theater is a vulnerability, like the point blank, like you just out there. And you got to go to emotional places. You naked. Yeah. And it's like you got to go to places that I wouldn't have to go to in a live concert. I'm rocking in the crowd. I'm trying to just get people charged up or take people to somewhere where my song is emotionally. But to have to go like in a scene and be like, confront your father about some things that you've been hurt about in that character, you got to go to those places. And we talk about it. Me and Victor talk about it all the time, where it's like, man, you carry these things with you. So point blank, you carry the work you do with you. Like, that's, God bless his soul. That's why we saw like the Heath Ledger when he played the Joker, which is one of the most incredible like performances I ever seen in the movie, in the Batman. Which Batman was that?
Dark Knight.
When he played that, I mean, it might have been hard for him to shake that off. And I understand those things, because you go to deep places to do some of this acting work.
Yeah.
Comments here.
Well said.
Absolutely. We're talking about Between Riverside and Crazy. And Victor is Victor Almansa, who is an incredible actor who is also starring in this play. And I invited Victor to come up here for something we're going to surprise you with. We're going to go to song and we're going to come back. And a lot of people really want to know, Common, when we first started doing this show, Heather B said you were her boyfriend in her mind, in her subconscious.
I said, first of all,
Okay,
don't reduce me to anybody's girlfriend. I said mental husband.
Okay, mental husband.
That was
We're
what
going
I
to
said.
come back and
Right.
find out if that's true or not. Okay, Sway in the morning,
boyfriend.
shade 4 or 5. Come on, man.
I don't date.
Yo, what's the line you saying, B, about the Lord is coming? I see about your daughter.
Yeah,
How
when I
that
say, waiting for the Lord to rise, I look into my daughter's eyes and realize I'ma learn through her. The Messiah might even return through her. If I'ma do it, I gotta change the world through her. So yeah,
So our daughter's birthdays, I think, are a day apart.
day apart.
Yeah, and every time he made a song where he talked about, you don't even understand how, like, sometimes it could be, for me, it would be challenging sometimes to communicate how I feel, right?
Yes.
And the way you would write about your daughter, I would just bite your lyrics and just remix them a little bit.
I wrote this for you, baby.
I'm glad to be.
I was thinking about you today.
I'm glad to be of service.
Thank you,
Amen.
my brother. So let's talk about Heather's mental health. Heather, you want to speak to this? Is
You
he still?
brought it up.
Did you divorce him
What?
mentally?
No.
Come on, Heather. We still together mentally.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm a
Scorpio
loyal.
and Pisces. So you
Third-
know we got
both
that combo.
13s.
We got that.
We both want to. Sway, why?
Yes.
Why would you even come for this?
The mental
mental
husband, man. It's there.
It's there, huh?
It's there forever, right?
Forever.
Forever.
It's no disrespect to nobody. It's way before horse. It's way before whoever.
Yeah.
I'm unbothered.
Mental husband.
Why
It's
you didn't
mental.
name nobody with comment? You just
Because
said
it's a
whoever.
list. He does have a bit of a list.
Yo, what is that like?
He had a bit of a list, but I sat quietly.
Hey, but my list was quality though.
You got a great list.
It's
Yo,
quality.
but when you go to an award show, everybody's there. How do you deal with that? How do you do that?
I just greet them. See, my list, the beautiful women that I've had experiences with, I never left them bogusly. You know, even after, I mean, no matter what, like even if we had little trouble right at the end, it's all good now. So I just greet them with respect. I treated them with respect throughout. They got respect for me. It's king and queen stuff. I only deal with the queens.
You still
know?
friends with your exes? All of them?
Yes, all like. It ain't,
I could call Tiffany right now. She'll be like,
Tiffany would be like, "Yo, this brother, he good. He been there even when we weren't together. I show
nice.
up. I show up because you know if I'm investing in you like that and I care about you, then it ain't gonna just be based on us being in a relationship because we done built some type of thing. That don't mean I'm gonna be around you all the time. You might have somebody
married. Serena got married.
Yeah,
right?
Serena
You
got
get
married.
so
Yeah,
you can't hang out.
I can't.
Yeah.
But Serena is still like respect me. We did an interview together. It's all love. Like she got love for me and like.
I'm
All
like
them,
that
See,
them
too.
Sway?
greats, man, them greats.
what do you
But I got a
mean?
mental wife,
It's
right?
different.
So y'all never that you
We
say
don't
that
argue,
to say
we don't argue. We don't. It's always
It's
love.
all- it's all love.
It's love.
She take care of brother.
That's
mentally.
it.
Does she?
Mentally.
Just understand his story.
Does she cook
With all
for
due
you in your
respect.
mind?
I mean, we actually had like she make incredible sangria too.
It's different, Sway. It's a different kind of thing,
and
baby.
that can move me. Incredible sangria can move me.
That's all it takes.
Not all.
Nah,
man.
not all. Sway, why you trying to
That's a
understand what
plus.
we have?
I'm
It's
just trying to understand it. I'm looking for that
A
kind
mental-
of mental situation, man.
You gotta find that. This goes back to like the '90s. So this is way before. This is Ken Arbara dollar days.
Oh, wow.
This is way
mental.
back.
Okay. I
Had to
knew you
be.
back then. So
You see. Okay, here's the difference. Again, Sway. I came to your show, the Wake Up Show, as an MC. You was like brother vibes.
yeah, that's what I mean. So we would never stop with us.
I know, but this is mental husband vibe.
Yeah, so that's
different.
You was giving brother
He's
vibe.
greedy
bro vibe.
brother vibes. Yeah, he comes to the house and pulls up like it's greedy brother. My mental husband would never do that.
It's like friend zone from the start. Nothing's happening
like, yo,
here.
She introduced me as her brother Sway before we even met.
That's my nigga right here.
All right, man. Hey, okay, I get it, man.
Early.
I just get it, man. But I'm just proud of this dude. I see
Yeah.
you in so many
Thank you, man.
lights, and you never. We always say that. Like when I came and saw the play, which was amazing. we could pick up where we left off. You know, so you're my brother. I consider you truly a brother.
Right back at you, bro.
Absolutely. And you spoke highly about this young man, Victor Almansa, who is an incredible actor. He plays, what's the name of the character?
Oswaldo. He plays Oswaldo. Yeah.
And let's invite him to the platform. Y'all don't mind? Let's just
man,
sit over
Victor.
one. Let's do musical chairs, Mike. Mike music. Oswaldo in Between Riverside and Crazy.
Yes.
Victor Almansa. Where you from, Vic?
I was born in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, DR, Santiago, Puerto Rico. Let's go.
I got to New York when I was let me see.
Put your headphones on, Vic. You never done this, huh?
Yeah, I have. I got to New York when I was 13 years old.
13 years old.
York,
Then when did you start acting?
I started acting soon. Look, I came from the Dominican Republic at 13, straight A student. And within, within 6 months, I got involved in a lot of street stuff. And my father changed me from the school that I was in to a different school that had a drama program. And I thought it was drama as in me dealing with my everyday drama. You know what I'm saying?
As a straight A student, that's what you thought of drama? Okay.
Well, because within 6 months, I was involved in gangs and all that stuff.
Okay.
You know, from getting in this country, Corona, Queens. It was like so many pockets, so many different gangs around that time. So I was
how near is that horse from Queens Bridge? How close is that?
Corona is like the 7 train by the junction, East Elmhurst, that whole area. It's a lot.
You Queens?
My husband's from Queens.
Her real husband.
Yo, the hate. Okay,
That's my brother.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar with the area.
Yeah, respect the horse.
So then, like within a year of me being in that area, my father transferred me to the older school, and then I got involved with drama. And then at first I didn't like it because I was already getting used to the hanging out and everything. And then I saw kids acting like something that we're not. And you know how it is. Oh, you fake. You're being fake. You're not real. But then one of the teachers signed me up for an after-school acting program. And the after-school acting program, there was a lot of girls. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang out here. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be in both worlds. Sometimes I'll be acting, and sometimes I'll be in my hood doing stupid things.
The other kind of drama.
Yeah, the other kind of drama. Yeah. But that was my first taste at acting. And around that time, I also fell in love with hip-hop, like from the beginning since I got to this country. My cousins lived in this country since they were born here. And they put me on to Biggie and Pac and all these people, and then and Jay-Z and Nas, and I was like, how do I do this? I love it, you know what I'm saying? But how do I do this? I only speak Spanish, and then I started writing in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I fell in love with the culture right away. And, my people from Washington Heights, I got family in Washington Heights. I got family in Queens. And, soon after I got to this country, I went to my school. I was like, oh, I got something. And I started rapping in Spanish. And people were like, what? What the hell is this? You know, in the 90s, mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
Yeah.
So how did you transition to Broadway?
So I did acting for a little while in high school, joined the Marines, came back from the Marines in the same company that I was doing youth theater group. The acting program thing. They hired me as an acting teacher for a while. So I worked with them for a little bit, and then through them I got introduced to the Labyrinth Theater Company, where Stephen Adley Gerges, which Common just mentioned a little while ago, the writer of Between Riverside and Crazy, saw my work. And from then he started, inviting me to do readings of his plays and his work. And eventually he offered me the role of Oswaldo in Between Riverside and Crazy. And from there, I went on to do a lot of TV and film and more plays.
What shows have you done?
I've done Empire.
Okay.
I've done Power. I've done Homeland. I've done Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Blue Bloods. I've done a lot of off-Broadway plays. And then it's funny because this was my first professional play ever.
This one?
Between Riverside and Crazy, 8 years ago, something like that.
Wow.
And then to go on Broadway, on my Broadway debut with the same play I started, is like heaven sent. You know what I'm
beautiful,
saying?
sir. That's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man.
Congratulations to you.
I don't remember seeing you on the set of Empire when I was doing Empire.
More hate.
I believe you.
You gotta let them know. That's right.
What season were you in?
Shit. What was our first or second seasons?
First and second.
I was in the second season. I kidnapped Hakeem. I was the dude that kidnapped Hakeem.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah. Cookie had to pay, ransom and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
How'd you like Chicago?
It's fly, man. I like Chicago. It's like a different version of New York, more laid back New York. I went there in the summer and I went to the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
we got a little beach.
Yeah. It's like the Mississippi, right? And they put sand on that. And it was fun.
That's Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan. Yeah. Lake
I was like,
Michigan.
wait, what?
I know for a second, I was like, hold
I
on.
thought he was throwing shots.
Yeah.
I was about to look up my maps.
Do you have a chance though to go back to DR at all?
The first time I went back was when I was 10 years after being in this country. Then the second time I went back was 5 years after that, and then I haven't gone back since.
Wow, okay.
So I've stayed for the most part.
Here.
Yeah, trying to figure it out. As an immigrant, there's a lot of things that you try to do in order to make things happen.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's make something happen here, man.
Yeah.
You was talking when I went to the play a whole lot. We walked to the garage, the parking garage for 3 blocks. I had to hear how well he raps.
Oh.
I said, hey man, I don't know if your co-star Common told you really what I'm about, who this is, but when you talking to somebody who's been doing this for decades, you telling me you could rap. The more you talk, the less I believe it.
Got you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And you made it clear that I only rap in Spanish. You may not understand what I said, but I can understand if you're great or not.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Tell them your name, man.
My name is Victor Almansa. I go by VIC, a.k.a. Cacique.
Okay. Between Riverside and Crazy, Cypher. Victor is up. You ready?
Yeah.
DB, drop that beat on him.
Yeah. VIC, Cacique, Common, Sway in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I fell in love with this hip hop shit. Here we go. Yeah. Que tú sabes de vivir sin rumbo, de que si tienes lo que quiero te robo en segundo, de dejar que pase el tiempo, que se acabe el mundo. Eso era mi pensamiento. Y que tú sabes de mí, y que tú sabes de vivir apretado, de tener el pecho ansioso pero bien frisado. Cuando tú me ves sonriendo voy, pero que por dentro muriendo me estoy. Y que tú sabes de cambiar mi paso, porque me veo en el espejo y solo veo al diablo. Y que tú sabes de decir que no voy a ser producto de mi destrucción. Y que tú sabes de decir yo puedo, y no solo en palabras, comprobarlo en hecho. Y que tú sabes de verme triunfar. Si supiera solo ayer yo me quise matar. So aleluya, gloria a Dios, que estoy aquí parado con todo lo que he pasado, y yo sigo aquí marchando, caminando. Nunca miro para abajo, y si miro para abajo es porque yo estoy sembrando la semilla del próximo día, cosechando lo que siembro, el pan de cada día. So para arriba, siempre vamos para arriba, dándole alimento para que vuele y que crezca mi familia. Estamos aquí parados, tú sabes, bien sembrado. El tronco si está fuerte no hay viento que lo ha tumbado, y los que lo ha tratado y quieren verlo desplojado solo han visto mi 2 alas, dice hecho en el cibao. Si yo he trompezado y después yo he parado, y describo mi consejo por medio de mi cantao. No anden amargados, hundan sus raíces, viento dan carácter y hacen fuerte más difícil. Mientras tanto sigan cabalgando en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. Vengo en chancleta, en mi bicicleta, gritando que la tierra me ha dejado la tarea de hablarle a todos desde el corazón. Todo lo que tú quieres proviene del interior. Crea desde adentro, como el hogar crea. Crea lo que puedan y podrán con lo que crean. Ay, abracadabra, es como la magia. Habla lo que quieres y crearás con tus palabras. Sí, bendícemelo a todos. Muchos están perdidos con su desilusión. Jabón, pásale jabón a los pensamientos que bloquean a tu ser de ganador. 2 y 2 son 4, 4 y 2 son 6. Así se multiplican los milagros el ayer. Si lo creíste bien y le echaste amor, le echaste condimento de la visualización. Ay, viste qué divino ese regalito. Que coman lo que quieras, que está ahí para tu servicio. Buen tiempo, buen provecho. Que coman lo que quieras, que son hora del almuerzo. Como me inspiro, como te escribo canciones, y ahora en día tan escasas las competiciones. Vamos a que voten cuánto de verdad desean el nombre de ser el más poderoso latino con hip hop. I-pop definiciones en español que dirían casi que debe tener las soluciones. Sway, you got the answers for all all those levels. No falten al respeto, tu padre te enseño mejor. Common sense, always on the beat. You know, from the head, I put you in the lead. Y yo te quiere que te diga, no soy muy comercial y me siento como David a punto de tumbar Goliat. Pero cuando vengo y me inspiro con mi talento y le grito a los 7 vientos y le grito que lo que siento es solo un nudo en mi lengua cuando escupo. Podrá a mí pararme, mientras tanto soy un cuco. Yo lo asusto a todos uno por uno. Mi juego de palabras como atleta en la olimpiada. Un segundo, que no soy arrogante, pero si estoy en esto para ganarle a primer que pase y pongo mi tiempo. Pinto 3 buenos versos a cada canción que tengo. Le cruzo a todo corriendo, no paro por un momento. Lo miro a todo de lejos. Cuando llegue a la meta me siento con todo el pueblo y le digo cómo le gane a mis hijos. Desde el más grande al chiquito, vente, camina conmigo para dictarte el destino. No, yo no soy Jesucristo, pero me siento divino. Lo único que pido, si quieren guerra conmigo, que traigan todo tu equipo. Tú solo estás perdido, lo digo con la voz alta. Ven, tráeme toda la baraja, ven, pon encima de la mesa. Jugamos en tu casa las reglas que tú traigas, no importa. Él siempre gana, él siempre está concentrado, siempre se lleva la lana. Habla si quiere, habla, me voy a carcajada. Cuando me vea la cara, solo escuchará mi jaja. Yeah. Hip hop, baby.
Yo, snap, boy.
So good.
Hip hop, bro. That's hip hop.
Thank you, man.
That makes me,
So good. That was amazing.
that make me, man. That make me wish I knew other languages.
I know, right?
I could translate it for you later.
Yo, snap.
I know he threw our names in it though, comment.
He said hallelujah. He said Father. He said some numbers.
He said Diablo. He said Diablo.
And he said good.
I was trying to pick out certain words.
I heard Negrito. I heard Diablo. I heard Donde Obeño.
I heard green.
Yo, first, congratulations.
Yes.
That is hip hop.
Thank
Victor,
you.
you did that. You killed that. Victor Almansa. Make sure you check him out at Between Riverside and Crazy. Victor Almansa. Make sure you check him out. I'm saying it correct, right, Vic?
Yeah, Victor Almansa, yeah.
Yes. Congratulations. What's your Instagram?
Victor Almansa _Cacique. Cazike.
Common, man. The EGOT recipient soon to come.
Soon come.
Hashtag
Soon
he got the
come.
EGOT.
My brother right there, man. Come on, man. We love you, man. We love you,
y'all,
man.
man. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Between
you.
Riverside and Crazy, go see Rashid Common, the actor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
go check him out. I didn't even ask him to freestyle. That's the first time, maybe. We'll do that later. All right. We want to thank Gloss Up for coming by.
Yes.
Her new album is out before the Gloss Up Friday. Make sure you check it out if you're in Columbus. Make sure Columbus, Ohio, go to XO Nightlife, 40 East Long Street, Columbus. That's Friday night. We want to thank our good friend John.
Yeah, from Taste of Puebla.
From Taste of Puebla, NYC. Make sure you follow them, Puebla, Taste of Puebla, NYC. Mike Muse.
Yo, citizens, hit me up at I am Mike Muse, MUSNSAME on Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to tune into the Mike Muse Show this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Urban View Channel 126.
All right, DB, thank you.
Thank you, Common.
Thank you.
I'm glad I got a chance to tell you about that. You can hit me everywhere at It's Really DB, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Okay, Torch.
Hit me up at Torchington. That's Torch, INGTON.
Street
Okay.
Sermon.
Street sermons available everywhere on all DSPs.
He got his own project, Victor. Maybe y'all could collabo.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Heather B.
Hit me up at the Happy Hour WHB. Ladies, lip language for female entrepreneurs. That's that Billy talk. Go get it. CanvasColors.co. Vegan lip line. Get it now.
Okay, this hoodie I'm wearing right here, if you see it,
That's
I'm gonna
fresh.
take it. You like this?
I need one of them, bro.
Thank you for asking me what it's all about, Common. I'll share it with you.
I need one.
Thank you. So we all know this brother Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, who was in the NBA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he converted to Islam.
Yes, sir.
And he got a lot of backlash because
Sure
of that.
did.
Yeah, he was a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, they threw him out of the NBA pretty much.
They threw him out of the league
Yes.
because of his religion.
Yeah.
Well, there's a friend of mine, Jocelyn Rose, out of Oakland, California, helped put together this film that's going to be featured. It's a documentary on February 3rd. It's called Stand, and it's about his journey.
Man.
And so, Mahmoud, congratulations. Your story has been, we've been waiting to hear your story.
Dude, one of my brothers just brought him up and said, man, they need to do a doc on him. and it's a doc
It's
coming
a
out.
doc. And I'll get you a hoodie.
Yeah, I want a hoodie.
You want a
man.
hoodie?
Yeah,
What
and I
size
wanna
you
see
wear?
the doc.
Large?
Large.
Medium?
Yeah,
What are
large.
you?
I'm a large, man. You trying to,
because you used to wear medium when you
was.
was.
Sun me. Look, you trying to
Because you used to wear mediums when you were still a large. I remember the back of this.
You remember that?
All
I'm a large.
But that's what this is all about. To my team, we had a magnificent trip at the White House yesterday.
Yes.
Thank you to the White House staff, Natalie, Erica. Thank you, Erica. Thank you to Kelly Kincaid for help organizing this thing for me. The Biden administration. Who else?
Keisha Lance Bottoms,
Shalonda Young.
Pierre,
Steph Curry.
Korean John Pierre.
Yep, the press secretary, Steph Curry.
Shalonda Young, the director of Office of Management and Budget.
Okay.
The Secretary of Education.
and
Draymond Green.
yep, Draymond.
And Doug Emhoff.
Yeah, the second gentleman.
The second gentleman,
and the
Kamala's
young lady
husband.
with the glasses who was walking us around, JC?
Joby.
Really sweet girl.
Spelman graduate.
And to her aunt, Congressman Nakia Williams of Atlanta. Shout out
Okay,
to
that's
the
right. And her father, who made her listen to me growing up because he was a hip hop head.
Are you serious?
dope.
Dead ass.
Oh, wow.
That's it. She was like, "Yeah, me and my father used to listen to you all the
that's
time."
dope.
So we'll be back at the White House, and we'll be back tomorrow. Toby and Wick, we will be with us.
Toby.
Okay, and y'all have a safe day. Stay on the right side of positivity. Thank you to Ty. He's going to turn around these interviews quick as you can
Thank you,
blink.
Ty.
And on that note, we have nothing left to say.